All right. Ashley, where are you from originally? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Northern California, by Redding.
Tell me about your family growing up.
My family was, I'm the oldest of 6 kids, and I used to think that I had a good childhood. It just wasn't until later in life that I realized how good it was.
What kind of teenager were you?
I was a pretty responsible, and I was the oldest, so both my moms, I had a mom and a stepmom, and they were both out of the picture, and my dad worked a lot, and so I was kind of thrown into a parent role. And, yeah.
Drugs came into the picture at some point, it sounds like?
What was that?
Drugs came into the picture at some point?
Yeah, like any, teenager, I would drink on the weekends and smoke weed, and then I played sports, and I eventually got to, the weed wasn't really cutting it, and I relied on opiates for pain management.
What year was that?
That was 2008, basically right out of high school.
Did that change the path of your life?
Yeah. I mean, it didn't really until later on. Like, at first I just, went to the doctor and filled my prescription. It was like anything else. Like, it wasn't until I first got arrested in 2017. I was 27 years old, and it wasn't until I couldn't make that doctor's appointment, and then that was when it was an issue, and when I realized that addiction was a problem, and that's when I relied on street drugs to fill the need that, my prescriptions normally handled.
You've been on the streets for how long now?
I've been on the streets off and on for about 3 years.
3 years?
I've been here in LA for 1 year. I think it's just almost exactly to the day 1 year that I got here. So, and I came down here last year. I was dating this guy, and we came on vacation, and things were a little bit rocky back home. Like, he met me as a homeless, woman, and he's from Pakistan, and he thought that I was an escort at first, and he never had seen me as, like, just a normal
woman.
Yeah. So we came here for vacation, and things just, it was clear they weren't working out, and instead of going back home, and I grew up north, but I was born in San Luis Obispo County, and so that's where I was staying prior to here. And we were going to go back there, and I realized instead of going back and being homeless there, like, there was a lot more opportunities here, and so I just said, I'm going to stay here. And I have been here ever since.
How have the streets treated you?
It's been good and bad, like, it's, I've met great people, very helpful people, I've had experiences that I wouldn't elsewhere, and then at the same time, on the other hand, I've had some really bad things happen to me.
Is that what happened to your eye from something on the streets?
Yeah. So, it's been about 3 weeks, but I was tired, and instead of, I don't really have like a tent or my own spot like most people do, and I kind of just find time to sleep either normally on buses or on the metro, the subway. on accident a lot of times. And a lot of people just assume that I'm, completely high or this or that, and it just gets to that point where I'm so exhausted I can't help but to fall asleep. And but I was staying at one of my friends' houses, and I've had eye trouble for years. I wore contacts for about 27 years, and sometimes they'll get agitated or whatnot, but normally I'll take my lenses out and get a good... I've never taken my lenses out every night like I should, but I don't know. I see it as like it's like a protective layer over my eye, and which is kind of different. But anyways, they were irritating me, so I took my contacts out, and then I woke up just like in a lot of pain, like they were hurting really, really bad, and I overheard some people talking, and they had thought that they could get high from dabbing my eyeball. And so they tried to heat up a ceramic tip and dab it while I was sleeping.
Explain what dabbing is, because...
So dabbing is a way to, instead of just putting flame to like foil and cooking it that way, it's almost like, it's like searing or branding whatever drug or substance you're using to create the smoke that way. So you heat up like a piece of metal or glass or ceramic, and then once that's red hot, you apply that to the substance that then generates the smoke that you inhale.
And someone did that to your eyeball?
Yeah. Yeah.
What kind of asshole does that?
I don't know. But I mean, people will also like take teeth from people, and they believe that they can smoke or ingest people's teeth. I mean, there are people that will straight up dab their own skin and smoke it, or someone else's, and hair, and yeah.
Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
How's it been going since you've been doing therapy for the last couple of months?
Oh, it's been great. I mean, I've done therapy my whole life. I mean, since my 20s, I think I've done therapy on and off throughout. A lot of people look at therapy as like, oh, there's something wrong with you if you're doing therapy. The way I look at it is there's something really healthy and right about you if you're speaking to a therapist, because you're able to, like, we all go through things in our lives that just make things difficult. And if you have someone, especially a professional, to talk about it, it just makes your life better. It just calms things down. Your anxiety, your depression, your anger, they all seem to subside, and that's a really healthy thing. And with BetterHelp, what's great about it is no matter where you are, you can be in Alaska, you can be in the middle of Kentucky, you can be anywhere, and you can connect with a therapist, a professional who's really going to help you out. And we all need it. And sometimes if you're not in New York or LA or San Francisco or Chicago, you're stuck without those options. But now everyone has that at their disposal. And you can do this all from your phone or computer, just a phone call, a video chat, or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You'll be matched with a therapist usually within 48 hours, and you can get started right away. So let BetterHelp connect you with a therapist, all from the comfort of your own home. Visit betterhelp.com/soft white underbelly, or choose soft white underbelly when you sign up and get a special discount on your first month. And now back to the video.
Especially if the person is a drug user themselves, I guess they believe that since you can, or even like you hear about people who drink their own urine or feces, they believe that since there's trace elements of that said drug in, whatever the byproducts of the human is, that must be enough for them to get some sort of residual effect from it. I don't know.
Do you know what the damage is to your eye?
Not yet.
You can't see out of it?
I can't see anything through it.
Jeez.
So I need to, now that I think a lot of the topical damage is kind of healed, I need to go and see an ophthalmologist.
I definitely need to see a doctor.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
As soon as you can.
Yeah.
It's almost barbaric how the streets are sometimes.
Yeah.
Are you concerned? Are you angry? Are you depressed? What are you?
Lately it's like I'm too tired to even have those kind of emotions towards anything. It's like my main thing is just comfort, and it's like I've been on the other side of things most of my life, and I never understood how someone could just like settle. Like why don't they want more? But it's exhausting every day just to get your basic needs done. That by the time you make sure you have dirty clothes and a shower if you need them, then to make sure you have food and drink and shelter, and like it takes up all your time. There's no time for really negative thoughts or feelings, and I don't know, I guess I'm just like, I'll probably be pretty upset and mad if it comes back that it's permanent damage. But
They also did it to you, did it to your forehead, it looks like?
yeah, that was another incident last night. But because of all this, I'm blind. So, well, I'm blind, completely blind in this eye, and then I don't have a contact for this eye. So my distance of my, like that I can see is about as far as my hand can reach, and that's pretty blurry.
Oh, wow. So you're really
So
blind.
everything else is just shapes and colors kind of blended in. And so I tend to run into a lot of things and kind of slip and fall and catch myself, and yeah.
Wow. That's a really sad story. I've heard a lot of stories, but that's a sad one.
Yeah.
That someone would even do that without asking, without anything, just deciding that
Oh yeah, well,
they could do that.
they'll do a lot of things without asking.
And so how do you survive? You're on Skid Row. How do you survive? How do you make money?
Honestly, when shortly after I got here, someone told me, about getting social service assistance, and so I was able to, fulfill my needs on the general relief program.
Yeah, that's not much.
So yeah, it's about $300 a month, but that stopped. So for the last 3 months, I haven't had that, and yeah, it's been very difficult.
Do you have children?
I have one daughter.
Where is she?
She's with her dad.
Tell me about regrets.
Hmm?
Tell me about your regrets.
Regrets. I regret. If I sat and talked about regrets, I would probably sit there and regret everything at some point or another. I can't really have regrets. Like, it is what it is. I did what I did, and there's some, like, people, they say, like, this is all part of God's plan, and I'm supposed to be here for whatever reason and learn from it, whatever I need to. So I don't really have
Have somebody
any
try to
regrets.
smoke your eyeballs. God's plan.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have dreams of doing something with your life, or was that never on the table?
No, I did a lot of things with my life, honestly.
You did?
Yeah. I went to college in Honolulu, and I was with my daughter's dad for like 15 years. We were high school sweethearts, and yeah. I guess when I stopped making goals and dreams is where everything kind of stopped. So my regret would be to just have continued to have more,
Party on.
future plans.
What is the best thing about living this life?
I don't know. I don't think I figured that out yet. The best thing is, I guess, just the common understanding just amongst others who are like-minded. We've all kind of been through the same shit, and if you take a second and put on hold whatever your immediate frustrations are with some situation, then you remember this person too has gone through this or will go through this too, and so it's just having that camaraderie between others who are in the same situation, and just that empathy, and yeah.
Were there things in your childhood that were so tough that you're kind of escaping?
Escaping. Not really, but maybe I don't know. I lost everything as an adult. So when I separated from my ex, everything went. So it was just what is wrong? I must be doing something wrong for all of this to be happening, and for all of not just his family but my own family to feel this way and to side with this decision. So clearly I'm doing something wrong and deserve this.
Do you have friends?
Yeah, I met friends here.
On the streets?
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't friends, darling.
Yeah. No, I don't want to have friends.
If you could have lived your life over again, is there anything you would have done differently?
Probably I would have not been so resistant.
So what?
Resistant.
To?
Just anybody kind of in a leadership role, or I don't want to say parental, but I don't know. I guess, no, I wouldn't have. I don't know.
Let me ask you one more question. Ashley, what would you say is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Most important lesson I've learned in my life. Just to not be a hypocrite. Hypocrisy is something that really bugs me. And, yeah, just try to be honest. And even if that answer isn't what people consider the right one or what they want to hear, at least you're being true and honest, and that's the best you can do, you know?
Being true and honest is important. All right, Ashley, thank you so much for sharing your story.
Yeah, thank you.
And I hope your eye recovers somehow.
Me too.
Thank you. Even though Soft White Underbelly consists of a lot of videos, it's really still a photography project to me. And if you appreciate the photography, sometimes it's difficult to enjoy it when it's scrolling down the screen, which is the only option I had in this horizontal format on YouTube. So last year we came out with the first Soft White Underbelly book, which is a collection of the best portraits from the thousands of interviews I've done. Each portrait in this book is accompanied by an interesting quote from the person's interview.
Oh my God.
There's more.
Wow. These aren't as bad as I thought. I look like a witch.
The book includes multi-page spreads of both Rebecca and the Whitaker family. I will not be reprinting this book when it sells out, so once it's gone for good. You can order yours at softwhiteunderbelly.org. $125, $150 for a signed copy. And thank you for watching.